Alrighty, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is measure out 80 grams of castor sugar in a small to medium sized pot. Then you want to add 30 grams of glucose syrup, which is kind of like corn syrup, and you can use either, so whichever you have. And then you want to add 100 grams of water into your pot. And then you want to place the pot on an element on medium heat. And then you want to stir continuously until all the sugar and glucose syrup is completely melted. Once the syrup starts to bubble up, you just want to leave it to boil for about 2 minutes. Then turn off the heat, remove from the element and set aside. And then just pour your sugar syrup over 80 grams of good quality white cooking chocolate and just set aside. Then in a separate clean pot, add 80 grams of whipping cream. Then scatter over a teaspoon of gelatin powder, and you can also use gelatin sheets or gelatin leaves, and I'll leave some sort of conversion rate in the description. Then place on an element on low to medium heat and just stir continuously until all the gelatin's dissolved. And once the mixture sort of starts to simmer and bubble a little bit, just remove from the heat and turn off the element. And then you just want to sieve the cream mixture into the sugar and chocolate and just stir it all together until it's completely melted. And the heat from the cream and the sugar syrup should just melt the chocolate on its own, so you won't have to like microwave it or anything. And just keep stirring and stirring until it just melts completely and is just really nice and smooth. And if you have any white food dye that isn't water-based, feel free to add it at this point just to kind of make the colours stand out a bit more when you add them. Then you just want to place some cling wrap over the top and make sure it's touching all of the glaze, because you don't want to like let the air kind of get to it and make sort of like a layer over the top, because it's not too nice. Yeah, and just set that aside and let it sort of cool down to room temperature by itself. So like the consistency you want is when you take a spoonful and you pour it over the bowl of glaze, and it kind of just like disappears into the glaze and just kind of the bowl becomes really smooth and just like it immediately kind of goes back. Yeah, I explained that terribly, but I think you can kind of get what I mean with the video. And then you just want to take a few spoonfuls and put them into little separate bowls and add just like a little bit of dye into each one. And make sure it's not water-based dye, so not the kind of really liquidy dye, because that will affect the consistency. So like either the gel or the paste dyes work really well. So for this bit, all you really want to do is just sort of make sure you stir the glaze just before you put it on so it's all nice and smooth. Yeah, and then just literally pour it on top and just try and make it as even as possible and like move your bowl around so all of the cake gets covered. And so I kind of started freaking out at this bit because it totally looked like there wasn't going to be enough, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to like make another batch and wait for it to get to room temperature, and this one's going to go hard and it's going to be a disaster. But actually all I did was just scoop the bits that fell down with a clean spoon and just kind of re-pour it over the edges, because the edges, as you can see, there are just like some little bits that like it just didn't cover. But yeah, I just kept like spooning it as it fell over the edge, and there was like more than enough. I had like half a bowl left at the end, so don't freak out if it doesn't look like there's going to be enough. Okay, so now this is like the really cool part, which is getting all the tie-dye rainbow colors on. So all you do is literally just like scoop like some little spoonfuls and kind of randomly place it over the cake, and just do one color at a time and kind of make it as random as possible. And just do this until the cake is like mostly covered with like colored frosting, and you know, there's just little bits of white peeking through, and sort of try and get some bits going over the edge as well, so it's not just on the top of the cake. And yeah. And now it is time to just sort of spread it out and give it that really cool tie-dye effect. So just get like an offset spatula and just like really lightly, so that you're not pressing down too hard and like moving the frosting underneath, just kind of like smooth out the glaze and just like kind of make a nice pattern with it. And while mine was still in the tin, I just added some little gold glittery like candy things, don't know what they're called, along the bottom, just to kind of make it look really nice. And I just thought gold would go really nicely with rainbow, like leprechaun or I don't know, something. And then once you're happy with it, just place it on like a big plate or a cake board or a cake stand or whatever you want to serve it on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Alright, so that's it. I am super happy with how this turned out. I think it looks really good. And I feel like I'm gonna get this question, but I don't know how long the glaze lasts because it was eaten really quickly. Maybe too quickly, to be honest, but yeah, it was really popular with everyone that I showed it to, so please let me know if you make it. If you have any questions, just leave comments. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and have a look at my other videos. I have lots of baking ones, lots of rainbow ones. Thank you so much for watching.